Alrighty, hello guys. Welcome to an update of the roadmap. Um, Now this is the first time of me making content for this, and I get it. It's a little bit scuffed, and yes, my username is on the top right. Um, but I have to. I want to go through this because the last few times that I actually did read community posts, I think the last one I read um was not so much this, but it was. I skipped all of the Alan Wake stuff, to be truthful. It was honestly, I think it all started from the character update. When the character update happened, and I ended up actually playing the game again, because the game was a little bit stale for me. Um, it didn't look right. There was things just not working well, and it failed. The update failed. Um, And then I read this, and then I was still wondering why this watch thing exists. Why do I have to look at a watch? Like, I don't know. I just I hated reading these because you assumed that the changes um were gonna matter. But here's the problem. Um I just didn't have any means to read anything, but we're gonna read over the map now. And hopefully they will have my trust back, and quite frankly, my friend's trust back, closer to, you know, October when Crimson Eye comes out. Because I like Crimson Eye. I think Crimson Eye is fun, and I really do hope that they try to go uh, further and beyond for that, because right now the July and August is looking bad interesting. Anyways, over the last month and a half, we've been reading the discussion about Phasmophobia across so many different channels and taking note of the biggest issues, point of concern, questions, and more. We are sorry it's taken a while to respond, but we wanted to make sure that when we did, we had something of substance for you. Hopefully today, with our updated roadmap and information on what's to come from Phasmophobia, we can start to build your trust. But hey, I'm not even going to continue to read a sentence. I'm going to tell you what's after this sentence. And it literally says, we feel like we owe you one because we shit the bed for the character update, and it actually did ruin a lot of the players. And now looking at the concurrent players on Steam, it has dropped insurmountably to the point where it's actually causing us to panic. Uh, we'll go into further detail on everything in this blog, but for those that you that would rather read the headlines, here you go. So pause the video, read them. You can just click off right then and there after you're done reading. However, I'm going to give you my tidbits of all of these. The rework of 13 Willow Street will launch on July 21st alongside the quality of life update. What I'm going to also say is we keep remastering the maps because we can't think of any other maps that would be decent for you and actually help us out. A further quality update will launch on August 26th. Guess what? This is going to be a ton of bug fixes for the new Willow Street map. And it's not going to fix animations and all this other crap that happened with the player update. To be honest, they should frankly just revert the damn update to player models. Keep everything else, but just I don't know why they didn't revert it as soon as it happened. But whatever, fine. And there's an extra space there. Congratulations, guys. Our upgrade to Unity 6 will take place in October 2026. I don't give a flying fuck about this. Unity 6 is not going to make this run any better. You could run this game on a potato. You can run it on a laptop with like 8 gigabytes of RAM and an integrated GPU that's equivalent of a 2060 or 2050, not 2050, 3050. This game does not require uh, a ton of graphics to play. And I think moving it up to Unity 6 is not going to fix the problem. I think they're going to probably be. Here's the other thing. I hope with Unity 6 that we can make our animation smoother and everything else like that. An additional player character update will launch in November, bringing with it improved animations, character models, UI, more clothing, and customization options. Hey, guess what? I'm going to tell you this right now. No one gives a shit about the extra character models, clothing, and other customization options. I think everyone just cares about right now improved animations. And now I feel like it sucks because Kinetic Games is having a hard time just getting over this fucking hump. And I guarantee you, the more updates we see on Phasmophobia and their roadmap, it's going to continue to be like improve animations, improve animations, improve animations. The animations were fine before the character update. There was no need for it. And then you put in extra stock, whatever. Phasmophobia 1.0, as well as our next new map, will launch in 2027. And this is an asterisk. It's actually the second half of 2027. So it's not even going to show up in like March or anything like that. Um, and better yet, this is probably to be like, we're probably going to see a dip in player count because GTA comes out during the original time frame we wanted to release 1.0, that kind of deal. But let's continue reading. Over the last month, we have taken our look at our plans for 2026 and made important decisions and changes to make sure we get things right. Okay, that sentence is fucked. But anyways, Phasmophobia's new roadmap, which can be seen below, focuses on bringing the game back in line with our vision and when we hope for that reignite your passion for it. Hey, guess what? How about you revert the character update? I'm not telling you to scrap it. I'm telling you to remove the player character update from the game so that you can continue to work on it and just, eh, this is hard to read. With a focus on quality of life over new content, okay, I'm sorry. People want new content. And I'm saying that with a little bit of anger at this point because here's the problem. The game gets stale. There's no I have in Phasmophobia. I don't have it installed now because I just couldn't. I played it back in May when it came out. I have 150 some hours. I've played this game. I have friends that have played this game for 600 plus hours, and it's hard to play. I obviously, if I probably spent more time on solo, obviously it would be a bigger deal. But unfortunately, I don't like playing these games solo. I do like playing them with a group and have fun with them and everything else like that. So I just find it a little bit disheartening, at least, when they come up with a sentence like that. But anyways, various updates will bring with them hundreds of fixes. Well, I'm gonna make sure that it's 100. Like I can be quite scrutinous with some things, and I've actually been doing that for years, just not on camera or overview. Um, I was criticizing just a lot of stuff, but starting with our first update in July, as well as bring the game up to date. Obviously, whoever wrote this needs to get fired. As well as bringing the game up to date with Unity 6. Our second player character update will improve and redo areas such as animations, character models, UI, and introduce a host of new customization options. Hey, guess what? Chop off new customization options. I don't know what I mean, the UI probably needs to get redone too because it's dumb. Also, I don't think the customization should cost like $30,000 to new players. Or sorry, $10,000 because just in general, why was the customizations like $10,000 and looked like garbage? But that's either here or there. The redo of animations should have been done 2 months ago. When it's going to be this video's title is going to end up being Phasmophobia roadmap review. Why didn't you just revert the character update? That's gonna be the title. It's not gonna be edited. It's gonna be pretty like stock. Not gonna make any adjustments because this game literally doesn't deserve it. Anyways, obviously we have Willow rework and the quality of life update part 1. August is part 2. October, like we said, is Crimson Eye in Unity 6. I swear they have to do a really good job with Crimson Eye. I'm being 100% truthful. It has to work. It has to be an event because I guarantee you, if the event is just like last year or the year before, where you have to go get those stupid statues, um, and all that other junk, and there's nothing really cool about it, and that it's just not going to be fun. Honestly, I didn't even think the diner was all that fun either. But Unity 6, we'll see. I guess we'll see. I can't really comment on the matter, but usually a lot of the times that games go from Unity 5 to Unity 6, it brings in a host of new bugs uh, and other issues. So we'll see how that goes. November is the player character visual update. It's not gonna great, sure. I guess Edgefield is getting reworked as well in December, as long and the Witcher just update event comes back. And then I think that's supposed to be TBD, but somebody put TBC like a fucking moron. Like I said, whoever was, I think they're scrambling. But now, 2027, I like it says content update, and it shows the original cork board. And then 1.0 releasing in 2027. So, alongside these various updates, you can expect to see more regular development previews that take you deeper into what they contain and the improvements that they will bring. Here's the deal: no one cares. People were reading them because they actually looked good. Now that you've lost the community, I don't think people are going to continue to read these previews because I think I read a comment earlier. Uh, they spent 2 months being silent instead of talking to their players, and now they're going to overwhelm their players with development previews that are going to feel forced and feel rushed. So that should be decent. You may notice that a few things have been removed from the roadmap in 2026, such as Phasmophobia 1.0 and our new map. We will talk more about the 1.0 delay further down in this blog, but we want to reassure you that the new map will be coming to Phasmophobia just a little later as planned. Yeah, because you have to redo a mechanic that you worked on for probably over a year that didn't work. All right, not gonna beat the dead horse anymore unless they bring it up. For now, let's go into detail with 13 Willow Street rework. Uh, I like how they're like. Before we get into the second part, let's look at the new 13 Willow Street. I mean, okay, this is dumb because I'm reading this for the first time fully. I kind of skimmed it over, but what am I supposed to see here? What's supposed to be different? The palm trees? Um so so this is Willow Street. I don't understand this picture. And maybe it's because haven't been in the game long, but what is this like the new map? Is this supposed to be like a racetrack kind of thing? This looks like maybe the campgrounds or the campsite. I don't know. It has a in-home gym. I don't know what this is supposed to be. I mean, wasn't I'm sorry, wasn't Willow Street 13 Willow Street the one floor thing? Or was it the one floor thing in the basement? I don't know. As with our rework of 6 Tanglewood Drive, the new version of 13 Willow Street retains an almost identical layout to the location currently in game, but features redesigned rooms, new theming, and plenty of new interaction and objects to discover. So, I'm going to say this right now. Why do people need more interactions with the environment instead of picking up an item and chucking it? I don't I don't get it. Like, I thought the train was cool when I first saw it in I think it's 6 Tanglewood, but after a while it's just ugh. Uh 13 Willow Street will continue our approach to storytelling in Phasmophobia 2 with the story waiting to be pieced together. I don't think people give a shit about this. There was one opportunity for them. There, I mean this. There was literally one opportunity to start putting story into this game, and that was save version 0.5 before you had 27, or is it now 30 different ghost types. And I don't truly understand how that you can get a story like this. It doesn't make any sense. Maybe it's a story about the building itself, but it just, I don't know. You can just tell I'm so done. Our quality of life update this year will focus on bug fixes, gameplay improvements, and overall stability and playability of the game. Due to the hundreds of bug fixes, changes, and new features currently planned for release, we will be releasing 2 separate quality of life updates. Here, I actually have a perfect idea for you for this. So, I used to play a game called Smite, and every 2 weeks or so, they would come up with fixes because the game was always changing. Items were getting moved around, stuff like that. And that was great. They could do the same thing here. These updates, the bug fix updates does not have to be hundreds in a single update. It should be incremental changes. Incremental changes. So let's say a lot of the animations were issues. Oh, guess what? We did actually get a bunch of them done. Well, now we have to wait for this whole entire update. And not only that, the bug fixes might actually cause more bugs and stuff like that. So it just doesn't make any sense. Just update the game every 2 weeks with certain bug fixes. I'm sorry, but that's just the truth. Sorry, taking a sip. Been talking a lot, and we're 17 minutes in, and I don't think I'm halfway through. All right, we will be releasing 2 separate quality of life updates. First with the Willow launch, and the second in August of 2026. These updates have been built off the back of the feedback we received since the launch of the player character update. This was back in April. As well as we've wanted to implement for a long time. So I didn't read that sentence when I was skimming. Now I'm a little bit more frustrated over this next part. We'll provide full patch notes and details at release of the updates, but here's a few details on some improvements. New keybinds for pressing 1, 2, 3, and 4 for individual inventory slots for keyboard and mouse only. This should have been in the game a long time. I don't think it. So, yes, this is quality of life, but this could have easily been programmed a long time ago. Anyways, field of view adjustments for held items to increase item visibility. Now, this broke because of the stupid update. Eye adaptation option for console players. What the fuck does this mean? I'm not a console player, so I don't know. I'd have to ask my fiance, but what the fuck does this mean? Anyways, moving the truck closer to map entrances on Prison and Brownstone High School. Okay, wasn't this done a long time ago? Why wasn't it done a long time ago? Restricted map variants for Point Hope, Brownstone High School, and Prison. Well, fucking geez. This could have been done. They could have made restricted map variants for Point Hope when it came out. They could have been doing this inst making restricted maps instead of doing this. Okay. VR improvements. I'm not going to read it. Um, I don't. I haven't actually played it in VR in a long time and actually enjoyed it. The legacy badge screen will be available in the customization shop. Don't. This didn't matter. The collected bone was shown in the journal. You know how lazy you have to be that when you did the whole journal UI update and everything like that, that you didn't do this? How in the early part of the game, it literally had check marks for the objectives in that damn book, but you never thought to have the time to put in the 50 lines of code to have this work. The ghost type can be selected in a custom difficulty option. Um, why wasn't this just here when the customization difficulty came out? Some of the, and I admit some of this stuff is like an oversight of, oh, we probably should have done that. But a full quality of life update is not the reason to put this in the game. This is like a 2 week thing. Is just like, oh hey, yeah, we actually did make an update, and it's actually going to allow you to see the bone that is collected when you collect it, or um to raise the watch while carrying equipment. Fuck this. The watch is so pointless. Anybody that thinks the watch is ideal, cool, fine. I don't really care, but this, I didn't even know this was a thing. I didn't even know you could raise the watch. And I read the updates. I just, what's the point? What is the actual point of the watch? Improved character animations. I thought, I thought this was happening during the player update in November instead of in the quality of life section. Whatever. I mean, nitpicking. Equipment switching animation speeds, including making opening and closing the book almost instant. It should have just stayed instant. It truthfully, this should say we have to speed up the animation, even though we spent probably 2 weeks on it, to now make it pretty much instantaneous. Nice. Improvements to the photo detection, as well as showing an indicator of what you were taking a photo of, similar to video cameras. Guess what? The video cameras change could have happened to the camera as soon as they made it. It is. I'm getting ahead of myself. These two quality updates will address most of the issues players are encountering. Why is this really an issue that the players are really wanting to encountering? I can see this and this being something like players would be interested in, uh and stuff like that. But I can't even imagine that players were asking for this. I mean, maybe this, I could see it, but this should have been in the game a long time ago. Uh, this should have been in the game a long time ago. Maybe not for Point Hope right away, but definitely for the high school and prison, because those maps are stupid huge. Especially in the early days of Phasmophobia. Goodness gracious. Otherwise, equipment can instantly be used, allowing animation to be skipped. But here's the problem: it doesn't. It really doesn't. 23 minutes in, and now we've made it to the 1.0 launch release. Earlier this year, we committed. The keyword is committed to launching Phasmophobia 1.0 at the end of 2026. This was most likely going to be either it was going to be in November, or it was going to be just before the Jester, or the Winter's Jest. Now, following a review of our plans and internal processes, we're making a decision to move the 1.0 release to the second half of 2027. This is why I said earlier, the second half. The game will be coming to the Nintendo Switch 2 at the same time. Here's the problem. They're I'm going to say this right now, and I feel really bad for saying it. but the learning curve for this game has been exponentially made worse. It was easy to, pick it up and go, but there's no let's say you're starting off solo and you're on your own and you start playing Phasmophobia with tier 1 items on the easiest difficulty. You know how boring the game gets after number 5? And then you add in some of the extra BS that they did. I don't know. We know this comes as a disappointment to many because you should just keep to your word. But this is the right decision to ensure that we deliver 1.0 version of Phasmophobia that's true to our vision. But you would release a player content update. You would release a player content update that is not to your vision and admit it. And admit it. You admit it that they released something that wasn't to your standard. It obviously was your standard for that update. Anywho, high quality standards and provide experience for players that we've always wanted to achieve. We're not going to stay quiet though. Beginning in 2027, we will be bringing you with us during development through regular streams and other means, showcasing our work, sharing some of the secrets of Phasmophobia 1.0 and more. This is not going to help you. I've said this before. I've said it again. There is no reason, and I really do mean this. There is no reason to be doing that. You were silent for 2 months, so now you're going to be talking loudly for a year. That I don't think so. I don't think it's going to work. Uh, while we won't spoil all the surprises, we want to be as visible as possible for you, hopefully rebuilding the trust. So that's the third time they've said something about this, rebuilding the trust. That has corporate speak all over it. We're hoping that you come back to the game because we're actually making money off you. And then they're going to show off some shit. Like, this could have all been I don't know. Is our first Below is our first look at an improved model for Patient 7, a fan favorite who, among all our other ghost models, are getting a much needed glow up. Cool. You know what's really also cool? This could have been done in the player content update too, technically. Why don't you just make it the model update? And you could have done that already. Like, Phasmophobia now has to play catch up. And if they don't play catch up right, they're going to die. All the ghost models will be giving a new lease of life. Why is there a question mark here? Also, this is a stupid line. See, now I'm getting pissed off to the point where I'm not getting a filter anymore. With this visual upgrade, but will also be providing their own unique experiences for players. What that entails exactly is something we'll go into more detail down the line, but we look forward to sharing what we're doing. So I'm looking at this right now. If they are making ghosts, this is literally a copy paste of Lady Dimitrescu. I'm sorry. Like, this is stupid. And yeah, you could probably, brighten up the brightness and stuff like that, but once they start pairing a player model to a ghost, if these are the 6 ghosts that are going to be just repeating, I feel like this is going to be a pitfall. Plain and simple. And maybe I'm just not knowledgeable enough, but that's how I see it. Because let's say patient 7, it has a specific behavior, but that specific behavior happens to be a ghost along those lines. Then anytime you see patient 7, you're going to say, well, it can't be this, 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 or this. But maybe I'm going the wrong way with that. Another aspect of 1.0 we want to reveal today is the introduction of conduits. I hate this. Let's go give you more collectibles to find. Or better yet, here's what we're going to actually go ahead and do instead. We're going to give you things to find instead of the bone that are a lot more difficult to find. Like, for instance, these small little people. Remember, our FOVs are already cranked. How do you, depending on the placement of these, how are you going to prove to me and say, oh, wow, there's the conduit? I don't see it with this. Potentially, yes. Potentially, yes. This I won't. But this potentially, I don't get it. I just don't. Rest of the year. Jesus, we're 30 minutes in. We focus on some of this year's major updates for Phasmophobia, but as you can see, the roadmap features more than just these. Following on from our two quality of lives, we'll be making the jump to Unity 6 in October. Oh, Jesus, please tell me that they actually have a good reason for this. This Unity 6 update will provide crucial stability updates as well as brand new lighting system for Phasmophobia. Oh, they're not going the right route. We'll also be implementing further accessibility options such as preference for colorblind players, as well as further quality of life improvements and bug fixes. This just tells to me we don't know what we're actually going to be doing with Unity 6. Oh, wait, it's a brand new lighting system for Phasmo. The lamps are going to actually be brighter. The lights around the. I like how that's their standpoint of like, it's going to provide some stability, but it's also going to give us new lighting. Why? I just, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. Um, and then they jump. Here's the problem. All right, no. Our second player content update will revive in November, bringing with it new customization options and cosmetics, an improved shop UI, as well as new animations and graphical improvements for our character models in game, giving each character more life and personality than is currently available. Elsewhere, we'll see the return of Crimson Eye and Winter Jest Sans leaderboards. That means as well as our third map rework of the year, 42 Edgefield Road. Finally, we are also planning an extra content update for the game later in 2026 that brings with it changes to our weekly challenges, new voice recognition features, and more. We'll share more details on all of our updates when the time is right. We have big ambitions to get you to come back to play. I just, ugh, I don't get it. We have big ambitions for the rest of this year, but you couldn't. It's whatever. Moving Phasmophobia 1.0 to 2027 allows us the time and resources to get it to the high standard that you all deserve and to rebuild the friendship between Kinetic Games and you, our community. We fucked up really big time, and we're hoping that that you can forget about this when it comes to be 2027, and then we're going to delay it again. While the news of delays is never a good thing, we do hope that the information we've shared with you today helps understand our decision. Well, here's the problem. You're damage controlling, and it's very obvious you're damage controlling, and it's just not working. It really is just not working. We are sorry for how Phasmophobia slept during following our last update. Weird. I wonder if that is the same comment that was made right here. We want to start by apologizing for our pitch. It's clear we missed the mark on this and didn't deliver on your promises. Wow, it's like they're repeating the same line 2 months ago. Or, sorry, 1 month ago. Ugh. Anyways, we're sorry for Phasmophobia left on our last update. We understand your frustration. No, you fucking don't. You're making money, and we're just sitting around waiting for a game that you promised us that you're not giving us. The player character update did not meet the standards we set for ourselves or the expectations you have for the game. Here's the problem. When you write In a blog post, the player character update did not meet the standards we set for ourselves. I don't I don't continue reading this extra part. I only see this sentence because what this sentence tells me, and brace yourself, Kinetic Games, because I'm about to lay down some smackdown, and it's well deserved. You're saying the player character update did not meet the standards you set for yourselves? So then why'd you release it? Why did you feel that releasing a piece of garbage character update with shitty animations and a bunch of other bugs was the right option? It doesn't matter about this second part of the sentence. This matters. You decided that your game was too perfect and the community was always going to support you to the point on whatever you put out because you could do no wrong and you were the staple game developer, and Ghost Inc. and all these other horror games that are a part of the same kind of niche genre right now are just feeding at the bits trying to find a way to beat you, and now you've given them the opportunity to in the last 2 months. Because even though Ghost Watcher Inc., I think is what it is, um, has been the same, it's had different shit. The ghost is actually active. It can grab you. It can do all this other stuff. It's coming out with new ways to win. It's coming out with new items. It's a learning curve, but it's more enjoyable. It's more enjoyable. And the fact that you have indicted yourself for utter incompetence with the sentence highlighted here, right in front of me, is a problem. Because when I read these and I expect humility, this is not humility. This is saying, we thought the game was good enough already for you guys, but I guess you need more. So this is a valid crash out. The fact that she went silent for 2 months, 2 months. I remember 2 or 3 years ago, whenever there was a plant update, going and telling my friends that this is being updated. This is actually looks really cool. Now I read these and I don't even touch them. I don't even read them fully. I only felt the need to read this one fully because when I skimmed it, I saw this line and I needed to say something. Now, somebody that is like me, that plays the games for fun, they're not my job. I don't stream them to Twitch, and if I do, it's very rarely. I don't put a lot of games up on my YouTube channel, but this hurts. This sentence right here, and this is the context that I'm going into. The player character update did not meet the standards we set for ourselves. We thought in my mind, the company's like, we thought this player character update was actually good and met our standards, but of course it never met your standards. The next update is the first step in the new direction, uh, July 21st. Looking at some of these comments, like I said before, actions speak louder than words. Are going to take more than an apology to gain the community's trust again. We've seen new roadmaps that weren't delivered on. And you can't blame us for remaining skeptical and feeling like this is damage control. Then you like feels like the game is always just the next update away. Oh yeah, they were reading everything and for 2 months they didn't say anything, didn't say shit to us. Not a single update after that ridiculous apology note and a double XP card, even though they said they would be more open and keep the community up to date on what was going on behind the scenes, which they definitely didn't do. I'm not reading this, but basically, um, it's criticizing it's criticizing doing these monthly updates. I'm gonna say this right now. There are there are three things, and I really do mean this. There is three ways they fix this. I really do like, and I'm obviously going Um, no, we're starting to see some of the I'm seeing some of the comments get posted. Um, more garbage ruining the game further when half the stuff is from last year's roadmap that's still incomplete. Saying people really love to complain about free updates and additional content. I can't even begin to imagine how companies like EA who charge a DLC fee for breathing. Well, I see some of these. It's like you guys fucked up hard. Nobody cares for this anymore. So buying more things from the asset store. No horror 2.0 because here's the fucking thing. And I'm glad this fine gentleman brought this up because I'm actually going to award this with a smart. I'm going to give it because here's the problem. Where's horror 2.0? Is that gone? Is that not a thing anymore because you're trying to port everything over to engine 6? No new evidence, ghost directions, or tools, because again, that would mean coding and developing instead of buying things from the asset store. You can't paint a pig so many times, but it's still a pig and it's dying. This game is dying. So why is the game so ugly even after I don't know 5 to 8 years? Oh boy, can't wait to see what players with 89K hours have to say negatively about the game getting better. It's not even the game getting better. This should have been given to us a long time ago. And I love this one too. Uh, equipment switching animation speed increases. It's from another one before. This would be a change that I don't agree with. I like as much reality in a game as possible. Making instant switching is not necessary, but there needs to be skill. At least make it an option in settings. Focus more on realism and more horror. I mean when it's fixed. We're gonna continue down here. No horror 2.0. Uh-oh. This is going up against like the first person. Poop poop. It's gonna take way more than a started to fix the bit. Oh, this is like someone being a child. Okay. Also, all that tells me is to not touch this for a year and possibly never again. I guess 2.0 has been completely forgotten. Anyone who had bets on horror 2.0 update being pushed back again, take your chips to the cash out tables so you can bet on it being pushed again. Wow, no one saw this coming for sure. This is like the fifth time you were delaying a roadmap full of promises and present your players with a new one. This time for sure, folks. Bootleggers are everywhere. I think they're just biased for some other reason. The game is going downhill. It's not a matter of opinion, it's a fact. People can't even compare how this game was before this lazy update. Either that or they're just bootlicking. And those people make the devs keep being like that because they don't know what they do. There will be bootlickers to defend them from facts. Oh, and it's game needs another gameplay layer, at least optional. It feels silly to find out what the ghost is and then bail. Allow us to capture it. So here's the problem. Ghost Ghostwatcher Inc. already does this. And you want to actually capture the ghost, be my guest. Why do they always choose to update the map instead of keeping the original one? Because the old maps use pre-made Unity assets and they want to stray away from that and use original assets, hence they're changing the character model and ghost models too. Uh, I think I'm gonna end off with this comment. I'm not gonna read any more. This video is already gonna be 45 minutes long. I think it's a little too late for sorry now. You don't talk well with your community, only to your OCC. I say enough is enough. The character update should have never been released in the state it's in. Instead of rushing things and actually take your time. I still love this game, but come on, guys. Also, why add more prestige with no reward? Is that not what the prestige system is for? Um, I just this sucks. I really hate it because Again, I I don't get it. But that's it for me. Thank you guys for watching. Catch you later.